With the dramatic slowing of the economy, many people are facing tough times and tough choices. Some experts suggest that as the economy continues downward, crime rates may be on an upward swing. Up next, we'll discuss what you can do to keep yourself and your property safe and secure. Stay tuned, Campus Conversations is next.
Welcome to Campus Conversations. I'm Marcus Rosano.
And I'm Fritzi Bodenheimer. Every day, the local news broadcasts are full of stories about home invasions, muggings, and worse. Some believe that with unemployment on the rise, we may be looking at an increase in these types of crimes. With us to talk about safety and security both on and off campus are Montgomery College Safety and Security Supervisor for the Germantown campus, Michael Dunn, and Montgomery County Police Community Outreach Officer Marcus Dixon. Welcome to you both.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Marcus, I want to start with you. Is it true that when there is a downturn in the economy that crime rates go up, and is it true in our particular case now?
Generally speaking, yes. Crime generally across the board is high. The number one crime right now, most prevalent in Montgomery County, is property crimes, whether it's from a building, a larceny, or more often than not from a vehicle. GPSs, iPods, and that thing of nature. Generally, what happens is when the economy goes down, you have more people in need and feeling the pinch. So they go to the illegal means to get what they want to do, whether it's pawning items or just keeping it for themselves or just stealing money.
Wow.
Talk a little bit about the larceny aspect of it, just to get a little bit more specific about exactly what we're talking about. You mentioned vehicles.
Right, that's the main one. What's happening is kids, and generally the kids, but not always, are actually window shopping is what they call it. They'll look into cars and see if there's a GPS, which is the main one, iPods, right, cameras, cell phones, whatever it is, break a window, go in, take it, and leave. And a lot of times the victims aren't calling because they don't think it's worth it, or they feel ashamed that I left something in plain view, where before we used to tell people, please lock your doors, and they're doing that more often now, so it's more difficult. But if it's in plain view, we actually arrest people. They tell us, well, if they don't care enough to leave it on the seal where we can see it, then that's telling us it's okay for me to take it. They actually have that warped sense of reality to them.
Wow. Speaking of iPods and young people, it always concerns me when I see people walking around, especially as it gets dark out, that they have their headphones on, particularly the earbuds now, and I see that on campus a lot. Is that a danger, and what can you do when you're walking around to protect yourself, I guess, besides taking them off and being aware of your surroundings?
Well, mostly to be aware of your surroundings, which is very important, and you can avoid being a victim of a crime by being aware of your surroundings. If you have the music playing in your ear, you're not going to hear somebody approaching from behind. You're not going to hear when you're crossing the parking lot that somebody may be blowing a horn coming towards you. So it's best not to have those things in your ear, and particularly when you drive. I mean, Marcus could tell you that that's not a very good thing to do, because you're not going to hear the sirens of police cars, fire engines, and things. So there's a potential for danger to yourself and to others.
I will say, if I can piggyback on that, we're talking about the earphones, with the iPods, especially for our pedestrians who were hit. That's a whole nother subject. But half of the ones where it was actually the pedestrians at fault, not hearing someone blaring the horn or not paying attention, looking down, shuffling the iPod, so as they're crossing the street, looking down, then noticing the cars or hearing the horn. So that's another aspect of it.
So you can save your hearing and yourself by turning things down when you're out and about on the roads.
Absolutely. And then again, it's also when you have the little white earplugs, victim, you can't hear them coming up, and they're actually looking for you, especially in your transit areas with easy access to and from.
Mick, talk a little bit about the crime that you see on campus. I'm sure, again, as Marcus was talking about, it's a lot of larceny. Just talk a little bit about what you've seen here at Montgomery College.
Mostly I see it as opportunistic. The cars that Marcus was talking about, that they would do the window shopping. Yes, there is window shopping, in as much as that the students don't have a habit of locking their car doors when they get out, which is very important to do. But before that, they leave their items sitting on the seat. You do have the iPods, you do have the GPS, you do have any number of things laying, their phones are there. So by not locking the car door, they're leaving themselves wide open to theft. And that's what we saw pretty much the last part of this year, towards the end of the semester, towards the end of the calendar year, was opportunistic things. And one day we had 3 thefts from autos, all of them were from vehicles that were open.
Wow.
So big thing here is hide your stuff, put it away, keep it with you, and lock your car door.
Okay, and can I piggyback on that? What if you actually see somebody going into your car? It could be a dangerous situation.
Again, we have campus security phones all throughout the campus, and the ones that are on the outside of the campuses have blue lights on them. Don't try to take things into your own hands. If you have your cell phone with you, call the police first. They're the first responders there. We defer to them in those matters because we don't have law enforcement powers of arrest. And then you can call us on the security phones too. But don't try to take matters into your own hand. Try to get a description of the individual, and if they're going into your car, and let them know, whoever you got on the operator on the phone for the 911, a description of them, where the car is located and what's taking place.
Okay.
This summer I was in a restaurant and I saw a man go into a woman's purse, plain as the nose in my face, and take her wallet. It was so easy. It was unbelievable. And it got me thinking a lot about not only iPods, but what you carry on you and what is the safe way to manage a purse or a backpack so that you don't get yourself in trouble.
Well, obviously, one, you want to keep it closed, zipped, locked, whatever, because it's kind of like the game shows, what's behind door number one. If you know what's behind there, there's my risk principle. Is it worth it or not? If you have no idea, i.e. something of worth of value, not in plain view, then I know it's not even worth my time to try to go in there. There may be nothing of value. One is concealment. Also, like you said, it's being aware of your surroundings. You become a tourist. You're going to go into another country and just have your purse laying open or nonchalantly. And same goes true for pickpockets. Just be more cognizant. If I'm the person, I put the purse between my legs. If I'm at a restaurant, have the conversation. You can see people coming and going, and have to do some kind of furtive action. Whenever someone has to go out of their way to commit a crime, that's when they're most likely to get caught or noticed. If it's casual, it's far more difficult to do so.